the channel. I'm Mr. Giggles, and this month it's Spooky Month. So sit back, relax, and get spooked.
Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Reacts, Underdog Reviews, and I watched Rumpelstiltskin with the tagline, "When the fairy tale ends, the nightmare begins." Yeah, I've heard of Rumpelstiltskin. Jesus. Yeah, I've heard of him, especially in Dutch, Rumpelstiltskin. And I kinda knew, I think, that he would take your first son, but I haven't heard a lot about him. But he's a bit like Fat Bastard, give me your baby, yeah. Yeah, it sounds interesting, but let's just start. We're in the woods and we see somebody hop running by, and we hear a baby crying. And it says that we're somewhere in Europe in the 1400s. Alright, that really, nails it down from there we are, but doesn't matter. So we're somewhere in Europe. Fine, I'm also somewhere in Europe, somewhere in West Europe. Yeah. Anyway, so hopping, running by, and apparently he's being chased by a mob with dogs. Great. But we don't know if this is a good guy or bad guy. At first, I thought, oh, poor guy, he's being chased. But then we later found out who it was, and I thought, oh, never mind. So it goes back to him, running with the baby cry, and he says, "Bastards! She gave me her word." Okay. And then he, still running, goes back to the mob, back to him, and we see that there are a lot of people coming after him. He runs to a kind of clearing, and they are almost breathing down his neck. They're this close on catching him, and then he suddenly stops with running because he ended up at a cliff. Looking down, we see water, and presumably it's the sea. Oof. So I'm gonna leave it at that, because if you want to know what's gonna happen next, watch the movie yourself. Well, what I can tell you is that they cursed him, and then they set him ablaze. That's what he gets for stealing babies. Then the other thing that I've written down was a friend of the main character, who is also apparently a miller. She took her to a weird shop from a woman called Matilda, and apparently it's always closed there, and there she bought a kind of a weird stone or statue thingy, and she lost her husband, who was a cop, and she saw a picture of him when she was home, and she had that thingy, and she cried, and some tears fell on that thingy, and he came back to life. great. So she saw him for one night, and then it was, yeah, give me your baby. Great. But I'm gonna leave it at that. The movie was okay. The movie was okay. It was definitely nice, how they did the props for, the makeup and all for Rumpelstiltskin. Obviously that's all fucking nice how they did that. It's always nice how they do that. But the movie itself, it was okay. Yeah, it was not from wow, it's the best movie ever. It was not also oh my god, this is the worst movie ever. But it was okay. So I give it a 3 out of 5. Watch the movie yourself. Leave likes. Recommend a good fairy tale related horror movie down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my second channel, Underdog Eats, where I do food, drinks every week, also from time to time hot and alcohol. On my third channel, Underdog Reacts, where I do primarily music. Link down below in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.